Same prices on thousands of GIA diamonds and designer rings. Buy direct. The Jewelry Exchange, Redwood City.
Race into winning with Mustang Madness at Grayton. You could win a Ford Mustang, guaranteed. Plus, 50 winners of $1,000 cash. Drawings on the last Friday of July, August, and September. Mustang Madness, only at Grayton Resort and Casino.
Live from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Forced to flee in mere minutes, thousands pack up and leave as this Carr fire tears through Redding. And from the air today, you could see the extent of the destruction. This is new CBS News drone video of the neighborhoods in Shasta County burned to the ground in just a matter of hours. CAL FIRE says that the inferno is still taking down everything in its path, and now it's taken a deadly turn. Good afternoon, I'm Kenny Choi.
And I'm Michelle Griego. The fire has now claimed the lives of 2 firefighters. Meanwhile, it's putting more homes and people at risk this noon. The fire jumped the Sacramento River overnight, which should have been a fire break. Right now, it has burned more than 44,000 acres and is just 3% contained. At least 20,000 people have been told to evacuate, and at least 110 structures have been damaged or destroyed. KPIX 5 reporter Joe Vasquez is near the fire lines in Redding.
I'm here on Turquoise Court in the Lake Redding Estates subdivision where we've been watching homes burn to the ground all morning. Here's one example. You see the car in the driveway. The metal just melted all the way down. That house just leveled by the flames. And then across the street right here, we saw a man come home and check on his home. All that is left is the basketball hoop.
It's all just ashes and burnt metal.
Alistair Sullivan says he was only given a few minutes to evacuate. As his house was burning to the ground, he was able to round up some important papers, but not much else.
That's pretty tragic. You try to grab things that you think are important and things you're not sure are important.
The Carr fire is still out of control and has destroyed quite a few homes in the subdivisions of West Redding. Most of the day yesterday, it had hovered in a semi-rural area outside the western city limits, but then heavy winds began pushing it into more populated areas. As night fell, worried homeowners watched the flames get closer and closer.
Oh my God, everybody's like panicking and going crazy, and everybody's just trying to leave.
Wind-whipped flames made roads nearly impassable. Evacuees quickly filled the highway out of town with bumper-to-bumper traffic. A Redding news station even had to abruptly end its fire coverage.
We are going to leave the station because it is now unsafe to be here.
This fire is extremely dangerous and moving with no regard for what's in its path.
The California National Guard has been called in to help with evacuations and firefighting efforts. In Redding, Joe Vasquez, KPIX 5.
That fire behavior yesterday afternoon when it was very, very hot was erratic. This morning, a lot calmer, but I do want to show you what's happening right now. Temperatures are soaring. So again, they're going to start to see those flames really taking off. Look at this right now, right near Whiskeytown Lake where that fire started. The weather gauge there says it's 103 degrees. So it's very hot. Humidity levels have certainly dropped over the past couple hours, now down to 21%. Nearby gusts for now are pretty calm, but fires like this tend to create their own weather patterns, and they create their own swirling winds, especially given that terrain. Excessive heat warning in effect for that Redding area. So the daytime highs are very hot. Overnight lows are also still pretty warm. I'll talk more about our forecast coming up. Kenny?
Nada, thank you. CAL FIRE says that a mechanical failure of a vehicle likely started this fire. Check out the drone footage posted on Twitter by user Elizabeth Noria. And as the drone lifts, you could see the expanse of the red glow behind the city of Redding and the flames burning in every direction that you look.
Smoke from the fire is rising into the atmosphere. This photo shows the plumes of dark gray smoke visible from space. And check out this image showing the orange glow from the flames reflected in the Sacramento River. A Twitter user posted this time-lapsed footage as the fire raged last night.
And 3 Marin County firefighters are being treated for injuries suffered while helping battle the Carr fire. KPIX 5's Ann Makovic has the latest on their conditions.
This photo was posted on the Marin County Fire Department's Facebook page an hour before 3 of their firefighters were burned fighting the Carr fire. They're members of an 18-person strike team, which had been on the road for 8 days fighting fires around Northern California, and they had been on duty for almost 24 hours. The team was protecting a home in Shasta last night when they were blasted with a sudden rush of heat.
It was a sudden wind shift where the fire front was coming from one direction and changed that caught some pine trees that were adjacent to the property, and that just blasted the 3 firefighters with a severe amount of heat.
They retreated to their fire engine and had to be taken to the hospital by another fire engine because the area was too dangerous for an ambulance. 2 of the 3 were treated and released. Engineer Scott Peterson, who's been with the department for 19 years, and Tyler Barnes, who's been there for 4 years. But Brian Cardoza, who's only been with the department for 3 months, is more severely burned and is now at UC Davis Burn Center for evaluation of burns to his face, ears, and hands.
I think the whole fire service in California right now is realizing once again the conditions that we're in the state right now, and this is the new normal of these devastating, fast-growing, difficult fires.
There is a serious accident review team right now working with the Marin County Fire Department and CAL FIRE to figure out exactly what went wrong last night. In the newsroom, Ann Makovic, KPIX 5.
Governor Brown has declared a state of emergency for the Carr fire, as well as 2 other fires in Mariposa and Riverside counties. That wildfire in Mariposa County has now burned almost 46,000 acres. The Ferguson fire is 29% contained. The fire has not yet reached Yosemite itself, but most of the park remains closed. Crews are also working to protect the ancient sequoia trees on the park's western edge.
President Trump could be seeing more of Russia's Vladimir Putin. The White House said this morning that Mr. Trump is open to visiting Moscow next year. The statement came shortly after Putin announced that he had invited the president. Earlier this week, the White House postponed a planned meeting of the 2 leaders in Washington, saying it will take place, quote, after the Russia witch hunt is over.
Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer and self-described fixer, says he is now willing to cooperate with special counsel Robert Mueller. Reporter Nicole Killian has more details from the White House.
President Trump touted the economy during an impromptu press conference on the South Lawn this morning.
I am thrilled to announce that in the second quarter of this year, the United States economy grew at the amazing rate of 4.1%.
But he did not respond to news reports his former lawyer and longtime fixer Michael Cohen is now prepared to tell special counsel Robert Mueller Mr. Trump knew ahead of time about a June 2016 meeting with a Russian lawyer in Trump Tower. That meeting included Donald Trump Jr., the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner, campaign manager Paul Manafort, and Natalia Veselnitskaya, a Russian lawyer who was promising to bring damaging information about Hillary Clinton.
No, I didn't know anything about it. It must have been a very unimportant meeting because I never even heard about it.
President Trump has repeatedly denied knowing about it ahead of time, and he did so again today, tweeting, "I did not know of the meeting with my son, Don Jr." Michael Cohen doesn't have any corroborating information to back up his claims, and President Trump's lawyer said Cohen's word isn't good enough.
The man is a liar, a proven liar. There's no way you're going to bring down the President of the United States on the testimony uncorroborated of a proven liar.
It's also unclear if Robert Mueller will want or need Cohen's information. So far, he's passed the criminal investigation of Cohen off to federal prosecutors in New York. Nicole Killian for CBS News, the White House.
Cohen is currently under criminal investigation for his business practices, but no charges have yet been filed.
North Korea is returning the remains of some U.S. military members killed during the Korean War. This is the 65th anniversary of the armistice that ended the fighting. Today, boxes wrapped in blue United Nations flags were taken off a U.S. military plane in South Korea. Rick Downs was a young child when his father, his Air Force bomber, went down on a mission over North Korea. Downs is cautiously optimistic that his father will one day be returned.
You have to really watch your heart here because this all could just fizzle. This could be nothing. It could be everything.
The remains of up to 55 U.S. servicemen are being returned. More than 200 are believed to be in the possession of North Korea.
A man accused of stabbing a passenger at the Pleasant Hill BART station is due in court today. Police say 20-year-old Abdul Bey attacked 51-year-old Gerald Bisbee after an argument at the BART station last Wednesday. Bisbee died 2 days later of an infection. Bey is expected to be charged with murder.
Other Bay Area headlines. Oakland police investigating a shooting that left 2 people dead and 2 others injured. Happened about 11 last night on 73rd Avenue near the Eastmont Town Center. The victims' identities have not yet been released, and so far, no word on the conditions of the 2 injured people.
Maintenance crews say the Golden Gate Bridge is 4.5% corroded, but the Bridge District is downplaying the finding. It says the corrosion, rust, and other defects are cosmetic and not structural.
27,000 runners will be crossing the bridge this Sunday during the 41st annual San Francisco Marathon. This is video from last year's race. Running-related events taking place today and all weekend over the city. And expect lots of street closures and some muni disruptions.
The Art and Soul Festival runs tomorrow and Sunday in downtown Oakland. Performers include the Pointer Sisters and Bay Area rapper Lyrics Born. Advance one-day tickets are $12. 2-day tickets are $18. Several streets in the area will be closed.
People in West Oakland want to improve the air quality, and they want to start with these trucks here at the Port of Oakland.
Plus, tonight a blood moon and lunar eclipse will illuminate the night sky, where it will be visible and why this lunar eclipse is so special.
Thomas Sullivan Magnum. That's me.
Magnum, whatever you're planning, don't.
Too late for that.
Magnum.
Yeah.
Bring the car back in one piece.
Welcome to the party.
Sure you want to go?
Thanks, but I'd rather not watch you get eaten by a shark today.
Wouldn't be me. They go for the white meat first. Time to go.
Magnum PI, new CBS Mondays this fall.
Any home or apartment fire is a tragedy, but particularly those caused by another's negligence. Too many landlords fail to follow fire safety laws that help prevent deaths and injuries, like installing working smoke detectors and maintaining safe electrical wiring. If you or a loved one were burned, injured, or killed in a home or apartment fire, call the number on your screen now. You may be able to file a lawsuit against the landlord to help recover compensation for medical bills, lost wages, and more.
AFib, or atrial fibrillation, is the most common heart arrhythmia. With AFib, the upper chambers of the heart beat irregularly, which causes blood clots to collect in a small pocket of heart tissue called the left atrial appendage. If a clot breaks loose, it can travel to the brain and cause a stroke. That's why most people with AFib take blood thinners. But blood thinners are not for everybody. Sometimes they can increase the risk of serious bleeding. That's why Marin General Hospital is now offering the Watchman procedure. Watchman is a small implant that helps prevent blood clots without the need for blood thinners. Watchman recipients usually go home after just one night in the hospital. 50,000 people worldwide have now had this minimally invasive, non-surgical procedure with excellent outcomes.
Heroes in Healthcare, sponsored by Marin General Hospital. Find out more at maringeneral.org/Watchman.
KCBS, always on with local news, traffic, and weather. Now on FM at 106.9 and AM 740. KCBS.
Big plans are underway to reduce pollution at the Port of Oakland. More now from KPIX 5's Jackie Ward.
This is a big effort. We all need to come together, figure out how to do this.
Their goal for the Port of Oakland is ambitious, converting 9,000 trucks from about 500 companies from diesel to zero emission. Today, a steering committee meeting was held to come up with a community action plan that will hopefully achieve that. But it's not a quick fix.
We're calling this a pathway to zero emissions. So this is going to take millions of dollars, and it's going to take years, maybe decades.
3 companies operate at the 4 terminals of the port. The biggest one, SSA, runs 70% of the cargo handling equipment. And Diane Hines with the Port of Oakland says they're on board with this plan. Community leaders like Ms. Margaret Gordon, one of the founders of the West Oakland Environmental Indicators Project, says this is an opportunity for the community to impact change.
This bill, AB 617, gives us that ability to help navigate, to go beyond just giving input and feedback, we're also part of a decision-making, and the decision-making that we have never had before.
While diesel emissions have significantly reduced, Ms. Margaret says there's still a higher than normal amount of black carbon, a byproduct of diesel in West Oakland, as shown in this map. This plan all started back in 2005 when they wanted to decrease diesel particulate matter in the air here. Preliminary data shows an 81% decrease so far. In West Oakland, Jackie Ward, KPIX 5.
Facebook stock has been on a slight decline this morning. It is now down about 3 points, or 1.5%. Shares in the Menlo Park company plunged 20% after Facebook reported lowered expectations for future revenue and declining use of the site in Europe. Meanwhile, Twitter is tanking today. Its shares are down more than 18%. Fall comes after the San Francisco company reported a dip in user activity. Twitter has been on an aggressive campaign to suspend fake and suspicious accounts. Taking a look at Wall Street right now, about 45 minutes to go before the closing bell, it is down about 71 points. A New York company has gone national with a unique concept, transforming shipping containers into homes and businesses.
Here's a look at some of the projects from SG Blocks. The company has completed projects in all 50 states, ranging from coffee houses to restaurants and even a community center.
Anybody involved in construction, either personally or professionally, knows the outrageous prices being charged by general contractors in every major city in the United States.
Founder Paul Galvin says the structures are safe, strong, and sustainable, and they cost 30 to 50% less than traditional building methods.
The 40th annual Gilroy Garlic Festival is underway right now at Christmas Hill Park. The food extravaganza runs through Sunday. This is video from last year. Festival goers can expect plenty of cooking competitions this year with celebrity chefs, live music, and of course, food with garlic in it. In its nearly 4 decades, the festival has raised more than $11.5 million for local charities and schools.
Buy some mints before you go.
Brush your teeth after.
No kidding. The longest lunar eclipse of the century happens tonight. It will even cause a blood moon to be visible. This is a time lapse of the blood moon eclipse back in 2014. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see tonight's eclipse here in the United States. It will only be visible for most of the Eastern Hemisphere, like Australia and Europe, but you can still check it out on CBSN, CBS News' 24-hour online streaming platform. And the next lunar eclipse visible in the U.S. is set to happen in January.
All right, let's get a check of our Bay Area forecast.
Well, yeah, we also have not just that lunar eclipse happening, but Mars is going to be the closest it's been to the Earth in 15 years. So here's a look at what you can expect today when you look up to the moon tonight, especially for the next 4 nights. Just look below the moon to the left of it, and that's when you'll get a chance to see Mars. So from now until July 31st, that's when Mars will be its closest. So that's pretty impressive, kind of rare celestial occurrences happening. Here's a live look right now at Dublin. Camera, look at this, nice clear sunny skies, but a sign that it is very hot there. It's going to get hot later on this afternoon, but in San Francisco, that's not going to be the case. Quite the opposite, in fact. We have the tale of 2 weather patterns. We definitely have the cooler coastal air coming through San Francisco right along the Golden Gate Bridge and the Bay Bridge. So that's why temperatures here, 56 degrees, 79 already in Concord. Oakland, 62 degrees, feeling pretty comfortable. Livermore, though, you will definitely see those temperatures rise, 77 degrees. Look at our satellite radar, nothing but clear skies and sunshine for most of the inland neighborhoods, but it's right here along the coast that we're getting that ocean breeze, we're getting that cloud coverage, and that, of course, is keeping those temperatures down. That's going to keep temperatures very close to normal for this time of year right along the water. This ridge of high pressure bringing in a bit of that west wind, and that's the onshore breeze, so that's why temperatures won't be going above average if you're anywhere near the water, but if you are inland, still above average for the next few days. In fact, this ridge is really not going too far. It's going to stay put across the desert southwest. What we're feeling right now will be extreme heat in many locations inland, 93 in Los Gatos, 96 in Morgan Hill, but 61 in Pacifica and Half Moon Bay. Staying cool anywhere that you see in green, but these areas in oranges and reds, a sign of near triple digits. 94 in Walnut Creek, 98 in Pleasant Hill, and then this is where the relief is. If you can get to the water this weekend, you may appreciate it. 66 degrees in Sausalito today, very similar conditions throughout the weekend. 70 in Berkeley, 72 in Oakland. This is where a lot of that heat is. Again, triple digits for Clear Lake and Lakeport. Microclimate forecast. Let's show you what's going on in Redding for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday expected to reach 110. It's going to be hot and smoky from the Carr fire. So that, of course, is an area under an excessive heat warning right now. But we also have heat advisories on these areas shaded in orange for the East Bay Hills, the Diablo Range. Also includes Lake County, Lake Berryessa areas. So this ridge is right here. Look what's going on. It's staying there. It's going to continue to stay there. All it's going to do is kind of bobble a little bit and move a little to the east by the time we get to the weekend and next week. Sunset tonight, 8:22. We have the Gilroy Garlic Festival. It's going to be 95, sunny and hot. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures are not going to get much relief next week until maybe by the middle, where we'll see temperatures drop down to the low 90s. And that's your forecast. We'll be right back after the break.
The Sunrise Sunset Report is sponsored by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
It's the inventory overstock sell-off at Lazy Boy. Hurry in and save up to 50% on $5 million in factory direct overstock. Everything must go. Lazy Boy. Live life comfortably.
Buying a mattress sucks. So I go to a store and get attacked by a salesman calling himself a sleep expert. He guides me to one of a dozen models and says, "This one is no good." Well, why do you offer it then?
Salesmen are paid commission based on price. And if you go to a different store, that same model is named differently.
We knew fixing even half those issues would change the mattress industry forever. We could design a great product and still profit to grow our company. And all we did was solve problems based on what people were saying they wanted all along.
Visit us online at tn.com.
Living a healthier life starts by taking one small step.
One bite.
One choice.
One recipe.
One snack.
One drink. One breakfast. One switch.
One meal.
Making one small change towards a healthier life can make a big difference in how you and your family feel. Start now and see what a difference one change can make.
Okay, everybody, let's do the numbers. Cache Creek Casino Resort has over 1,700 penny machines, and we pay 3-2 on blackjack. It all adds up to big fun at Cache Creek Casino Resort. Play here, play the best.
Step up to the plate for the Big League Cash Giveaway at Cache Creek. Swing away for the $8,000 grand prize every Saturday and Sunday at 7 and 9 p.m. Plus on Labor Day, the Big League Cash Giveaway, only at Cache Creek.
You can't experience the Canadian Rockies through a screen. You have to be here with us. Travel through this natural wonder and get a glimpse of amazing. With a glass of wine in one hand and a camera in the other. Aboard Rocky Mountaineer. Canada's Rocky Mountains await. Call your travel agent or Rocky Mountaineer for special offers now.
It's the inventory overstock sell-off at Lazy Boy. Hurry in and save up to 50% on $5 million in factory direct overstock. Everything must go. Lazy Boy. Live life comfortably.
It has now been 40 years since the first birth of a human baby through in vitro fertilization.
And doctors say they are continuing to improve the process. Fertility experts at Columbia University say they are now able to select only the healthiest fertilized embryos for transplantation, and they say that makes a big difference.
Instead of having to transfer multiple embryos, we could transfer one embryo and still give a high chance of success.
Experts say they are also able to screen out embryos that contain genetic defects. It's a major cause of miscarriages, and they say they're improving embryo preservation methods as well. It's estimated as many as 8 million babies have been born due to IVF. We'll be right back.
You need new replacement windows, but you're just not sure if they're in the budget this year, right? I'm Brian Gary here with Ted Coons from Renewal by Anderson, and he's here to talk about how to make window replacement more affordable.
Well, first, Brian, you don't have to do them all. You could just replace your worst windows first. Or another way to make them affordable is to change the style of window. For example, you could do a gliding window instead of a casement. Or you could combine two units and create a larger window. We have a lot of ways to make window projects really affordable.
Compared to other window companies, you have a completely different business model.
Yeah, with other companies, there's just too many people involved in the process. There's the manufacturer, the seller, and then the installer, and then the customer. And if you call with a problem, that's when they say, oh, well, we're the manufacturer. You have to call the installer for that problem, or vice versa. We're the full-service replacement window division of Andersen. With us, there's no passing the buck. At Renewal by Andersen, we sell, build, install, and warrant our windows and patio doors. So if there's ever an issue, we take full responsibility for it.
Why don't you sell vinyl windows?
Well, a lot of vinyl products just don't hold up well in the elements. You know, like a vinyl fence. When it's first installed, it looks great, but with expansion and contraction, it discolors and cracks. For that same reason, a lot of vinyl windows just won't last. Our window material is a composite that combines the best of vinyl and wood. Well, Fibrex is low maintenance like vinyl, but stronger than vinyl. And it's beautiful like wood, but doesn't require the upkeep of wood.
That's good information, Ted. Thank you. If you've been waiting for a great discount from Renewal by Andersen, well, here it is.
Buy one window or patio door and get your next one 40% off with a minimum of 3 units. And get new windows now, but don't pay anything for a year. No money down, no payments, and no interest for a year. Call to schedule your free window diagnosis. 1-800-591-6600.
Hi, I'm Roberta Gonzalez, and on this week's edition of Where's Roberta, I'm in front of St. Peter's Dome. We take you through the Vatican museums, and how about a visit to the Roman Colosseum?
With new airlines and a growing list of destinations, you can now fly from Oakland International Airport to more places than ever before. New international facilities now open at the Bay Area's convenient and reliable airport.
Clear for takeoff.
Well, today's typical day is going to be one of my favorite grapes. Now, of course, I say that a lot because I don't know which one's really my favorite. I just love grapes. I love produce. But the red muscats this time of year are fabulous. Muscats have that wonderful aroma and texture and flavor. And combined with the red, usually the green and a much larger berry. But these red grapes are fantastic. When you buy these red muscats, you want to make sure the beautiful color red all the way around. You see this? How nice it is? And the darker the red, the better they're going to be. When you bring them home, store them in the refrigerator right away. Never wash them before you store them, but always wash them before you enjoy them. And you get that old world flavor of a seedless red muscat. If you've never tried one, try it and you'll thank me. I love these grapes, especially in the summertime. Ooh, that is really good. They are one of my favorites. And I'm 2010 till you're a fresh grocer. And always remember to eat fresh and stay healthy. Little bunches, though. That's okay. They're sold in the tray.
Can't find a restaurant or restroom to use? Now there is an app for that, but like most things nowadays, there's a price to pay. We're going to have that story and much more coming up at 5.
A new study suggests that dogs are more likely to rush to their owner's side when the owner is tearful or in distress. The study evaluated 34 dogs, and researchers say that the dogs ran to their owners more quickly when the owner made crying sounds compared with when the owner spoke in a normal voice. Is that true? You guys have dogs?
They know.
I cannot wait to see my dog. I'm going to hug her and just,
And run with her. And
play with her.
They know when you get extra love.
Have a great weekend, everybody.